6 to 10. So that means I get to go in an hour later, which is really quite fantastic. There's a little bit of a wrench into the plans for this weekend, though, because my mom works and she has to leave for work relatively soon. It makes it difficult for me to get a ride there because my stepdad has to drive me both there and home, so kind of sucks. Because I know he's not gonna be very happy about that. But my mom doesn't work very many weekends after this, so it's not a big deal after that. But yeah, so that was interesting. Kind of sucks not being paid for that extra hour like I thought I was going to, because I only get 8 hours a week now if I work 6 to 10, because I'll only work Friday and Saturday. That means less money, but it's a shorter shift. It's shorter by like, what is that, 1/5? So, I mean, I'm losing out on 2 hours of pay, but I get more time to do this. And excuse the music or anything you hear in the background. My father is working, or my stepdad is working outside, and he's got the radio on, and he's quite loud. There's cars driving by all day. But my grandparents are coming to stay for the rest of the weekend, and they're gonna be here in a couple of hours. So I have to get this done, or film this video, otherwise there's no way that it's gonna be quiet at all tomorrow. Enough for me to film this, so it's relatively quiet right now, so I'm just gonna move this out. I'm sorry if the background, or the music is quite distracting, or whatever might be in the background, but I wanna make a video because I haven't filmed anything since the joke of a video I recorded last time. I'm really, really sorry about that. It's taken me so long to mess with these stupid settings, because when this movie maker was only picking up that the webcam was the only microphone in, so I didn't know what to do. But eventually I got it to record with audio from my webcam or video from my webcam and audio from that, my Yeti. So, excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I'm not tired. Who knows? So anyway, I guess let's go on with the reading. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be finishing up this series this month, I hope, because there's another book that I want to do that I'm going to start after this, and the movie version for it comes out really soon. So I want to get this done and then start, and then the first episode coincide with the release date for the movie, just because, just little things like that kind of seem cool. Anyway, now let's get on with reading. January 25th, January 25th, 1992. Dear friend, I feel great. I really mean it. I have to remember this for the next time I'm having a terrible week. Have you ever done that? You feel really bad, and then it goes away, and you don't know why. I try to remind myself when I feel great like this, that there will always be another terrible week coming someday, so I should store up as many great details as I can, so during the next terrible week, I can remember those details and believe that I'll feel great again. It doesn't work a lot, but I think it's very important to try. My psychiatrist is a very nice man. He's much better than my last psychiatrist. We talk about things that I feel and think and remember. Like when I was little, there was this one time that I walked down the street in my neighborhood. I was completely naked, holding a bright blue umbrella even though it wasn't raining. And I was so happy because it made my mom smile, and she rarely smiled. So she took a picture, and the neighbors complained. This said he has music magazines in his waiting room. I've read an article about Nirvana on one visit, and they didn't have any references to honey mustard dressing or lettuce. They kept talking about the singer's stomach problems all the time, though. It was weird. Like I told you, Sam and Patrick loved their big song, so I thought I'd read it to have something to discuss with him. In the end, the magazine compared him and John Lennon from the Beatles. I told that to Sam later, and she got really mad. She said he was like Jim Morrison if he was like anybody, but really, he isn't like anybody but himself. We were all at the Big Boy after Rocky Horror, and it started this big discussion. Greg said the problem with things is that everybody is always comparing everybody with everyone, and because of that, it discredits people, like in his photography classes. Bob said that it was all about her parents not wanting to let go of their youth. Now it kills them that they can't relate to something. Patrick said that the problem was that since everything has happened already, it makes it hard to break new ground. Nobody can be as big as the Beatles because the Beatles already gave it a context. The reason they were so big is because they had no one to compare themselves with, so the sky was the limit. Sam added that nowadays a band or someone would compare themselves to the Beatles after the second album, and their own personal voice would be less from that moment on. What do you think, Charlie? I couldn't remember where I read it or heard it. I said maybe it was in Side of Paradise by Scott Fitzgerald. There's a place near the end of the book where the main kid is picked up by some older gentlemen. They're both going to an Ivy League homecoming football game, and they have this debate. The older gentleman is established. The kid is jaded. Anyway, they have this discussion, and the kid is an ideologist in a temporary way. He talks about his restless generation and things like that. And he says something like, "This is not a time for heroes because nobody will let that happen." The book takes place in the 1920s, which I thought was great because I supposed the same kind of conversation could happen in the Big Boy. It probably already did with our parents and grandparents. It was probably happening with us right now. So I said I thought the magazine was trying to make him a hero, but then later somebody might dig up something to make him seem like less than a person. I didn't know why, because to me he is just a guy who writes songs that a lot of people like, and I thought that was enough for everyone involved. Maybe I'm wrong, but everyone at the table started talking about it. Sam blamed television, Patrick blamed government, Greg blamed the corporate media, Bob was in the bathroom. I don't know what it was, and I know we didn't really accomplish anything, but it felt great to sit there and talk about our place in things. It was like when Bill told me to participate. I went to the homecoming dance like I told you before. This was much more fun. It was especially fun to think that people all over the world were having similar conversations in their equivalent of the Big Boy. And I would have told the table that, but they were really having fun being cynical, and I didn't want to ruin it. So I just sat back a little bit and watched Sam sitting next to Greg and tried not to be too sad about it. I have to say that I wouldn't do it very successfully, or that I couldn't do it very successfully. But at one point, Greg was talking about something, and Sam turned to me and smiled. It was this movie smile in slow motion, and then everything was okay. I told this to my psychiatrist, but he said it was too soon to draw any conclusions. I don't know. I just had a great day. I hope you did too. Love always, Charlie. February 2nd, 1992. Dear friend, On the Road was a very good book. Bill didn't ask me to write a paper about it, like I said. would never tell Bill this. Sam told me that William S. Burroughs wrote the book when he was on the heroin, and that I should go with the flow. So I did. I still have no idea what he was talking about, so I went downstairs to watch television with my sister. The show was Comer Pile, and my sister was very quiet and moody. I tried to talk to her, but she just told me to shut up and leave her alone. So I watched the show for a few minutes, but it made even less sense to me than the book, so I decided to try to do my math homework, which was a mistake because math has never made any sense to me. I was just confused all day. So I tried to help my mother in the kitchen, but I dropped the casserole, so she told me to read in my room until my father came home, but reading is what started this whole mess in the first place. Luckily, my father came home before I could pick up the book again, but he told me to stop hanging on his shoulders like a monkey, because he wanted to watch the hockey game. I watched the hockey game. Oh god, dang it. I watched the hockey game for a while, but I couldn't stop asking him questions about which countries the players are from, and he was resting his eyes, which means that he was sleeping but didn't want me to change his channel. So he told me to go watch television with my sister, which I did, but she told me to go help my mother in the kitchen, which I did, but then she told me to go read in my room, which I did. I've read about a third of the book now, and it's pretty good so far. Love always, Charlie. February 8, 1992. Dear friend, I have a date for the St. Hawkins dance. In case you didn't have one of those, it's a dance where the girl asks the boy. In my case, the girl is Mary Elizabeth, and the boy is me. Can you believe it? I think it started when I was helping Mary Elizabeth staple the latest issue for Punk Rocky on Friday before we went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Mary Elizabeth was so nice that day. She had said it was the best issue we'd ever had for two reasons, and both of those reasons were mine. First of all, it was in color, and second, it had the poem that I gave Patrick in it. It really was a great issue. I think I'll even think that when I'm older. Greg included some of his color photographs. Sam included some underground news on some bands. Mary Elizabeth wrote an article about the Democratic candidates. Bob included a reprint of a pro-hemp pamphlet. And Patrick made this fake coupon advertising a free blowjob for anyone who buys a smiley cookie at the Big Boy. Some restrictions apply. There was even a nude photograph from the back of Patrick, if you can believe it. Sam had Craig take the picture. Mary Elizabeth told everyone to keep it a secret that the photograph was Patrick, which everybody did, except Patrick. All night, he kept yelling, "Flaunted, baby, flaunted," which is his favorite line from his favorite movie, The Producers. Mary Elizabeth told me that she thought Patrick asked her to put the photograph in the issue so Brad could have a photograph of him without it being suspicious, but he wouldn't say for sure. Brad bought a copy without even looking at it, so maybe she was right. When I went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show that night, Mary Elizabeth was really mad because Greg didn't show up. Nobody knew why, not even Sam. The problem was nobody was there to play Rocky, the muscular robot. I'm not quite sure what he is. After looking around at everybody, Mary Elizabeth turned to me. "Charlie, how many times have you seen the show?" 10. "Do you think you can play Rocky?" "I'm not cutting hunky." "It doesn't matter. Can you play him?" "I guess." "Do you guess or do you know?" "I guess." "Good enough." And next thing I knew, I was wearing nothing but slippers and a bathing suit, which somebody painted gold. I don't know how these things happen to me sometimes. I was very nervous, especially because in the show, Rocky has to touch Janet all over her body, and Sam was playing Janet. Patrick kept making jokes that I would get an erection. I really hope this wouldn't happen. Gosh dang it, hold on. short time. Anyway, Patrick kept making jokes that I would get an erection. I really hoped this wouldn't happen. Once, I got an erection in class and had to go to the chalkboard. It was a terrible time. My mind took that experience and added a spotlight to the fact that I was only wearing a bathing suit. I panicked. I almost didn't do the show, but then Sam told me she really wanted me to play Rocky, and I guess that's all I really needed to hear. I won't go in detail about the show, but I had the best time I ever had in my whole life. I'm not kidding. I got to pretend that I was singing, and I got to dance around, and I got to wear a feather boa in the grand finale, which I wouldn't have thought anything of because it's part of the show, but Badger couldn't stop talking about it. Charlie and a feather boa. Charlie and a feather boa. He just couldn't stop laughing. But the best part was the scene with Janet where we had to touch each other. It wasn't the best part because I got to touch Sam and have her touch me. It's the exact opposite. I know it's about that, guys. That was my mother. Anyway, where was I? It was the exact opposite. I know it sounds dumb, but it's true. Just before the scene, I thought about Sam, and I thought that if I touched her in a way that on stage I meant it, and it would be cheap. But as much as I think I might want to someday touch her like that, I never want it to be cheap. I don't want it to be Rocky and Janet. I want it to be Sam and I want her to mean it back. So we just played. When the show was over, we all bowed together, and there was applause everywhere. Patrick even shoved me in front of the rest of the cast to take my own personal bow. I think this is the initiation for new cast members. All I could think was how nice it was that everyone applauded for me, and how glad I was that nobody in my family was ever there to see me play Rocky and the Feather Boa. Especially my dad. I did get an erection, though, not until much later, in the parking lot of the Big Boy. That's when Mary Elizabeth asked me to the City Hawkins dance after she said, "You looked really good in your costume." I like girls, I really do, but because they can make you think you look good in a bathing suit even when you don't. The erection made me feel guilty in hindsight, though, but I guess it couldn't be helped. I told my sister about having a date for the dance, but she was really distracted. Then I tried to ask her advice about how to treat a girl on a date since I've never had a date before, but she wouldn't answer. She wasn't being mean, she was just staring off into space. I asked her if she was okay, and she said she needed to be alone, so I went up and finished naked lunch. After I finished, I just laid around in my bed looking at the ceiling, and I smiled because it was a nice kind of quiet. Love always, Charlie. There. Alright. February 29, 1992. Dear friend, I have to say something about my last letter. I know that Sam would never ask me to the dance. I know that she would bring Greg, and if not Greg, then Patrick, since Brad's girlfriend, Nancy, is going with Brad. I think Mary Elizabeth Sam did say that sex things were tricky with Mary Elizabeth, since she's had boyfriends before and has a lot more experience than I am. She said the best thing to do when you don't know what to do during anything sexual is pay attention to how that person is kissing you and kiss them back the same way. She says that it is very sensitive, which I certainly want to be. So I said, "Can you show me?" And she said, "Don't be smart." We talk to each other like that every now and then. It always makes her laugh. After Sam showed me a Zippo lighter trick, I asked her more about Mary Elizabeth. What if I don't want to do anything sexual with her? Just say you're not ready. Does that work? Sometimes. I wanted to ask Sam about the other side of sometimes, but I didn't want to be too personal, and I didn't want to know deep down. I wish I could stop being in love with Sam. I really do. Love always, Charlie. Dear friend, February 15th, 1992. Dear friend, I don't feel very well because everything is messy. I did go to the dance, and I did tell Mary Elizabeth how nice her outfit is. And I did ask her questions, and I let her talk the whole time. I learned a lot about objectification, Native Americans, and the bourgeoisie. But most of all, I learned about Mary Elizabeth. Mary Elizabeth wants to go to Berkeley and get 2 degrees. One is for political science. The other is for sociology with a minor concentration in women's studies. Mary Elizabeth hates high school and wants to explore lesbian relationships. I asked her if she thought girls were pretty, and she looked at me like I was stupid and said that's not the point. Mary Elizabeth's favorite movie is Reds. Her favorite book is an autobiography of a woman who was a character in Reds. I can't remember her name. Mary Elizabeth's favorite color is green. Her favorite season is spring. Her favorite ice cream flavor is jelly. She said that she refuses to eat low-fat frozen yogurt on principle alone. Is Jerry Garcia. Her favorite food is pizza. Half mushrooms, half green peppers. Mary Elizabeth is a vegetarian, and she hates her parents. She is also fluent in Spanish. The only thing she asked me the whole time was whether or not I wanted to kiss her goodnight. When I said that I wasn't ready, she said she understood and told me what a great time she had. She said I was the most sensitive boy she'd ever met, which I didn't understand because really all I did was not interrupt her. People, why you gotta freaking slam the doors, alright? Then she asked me if I wanted to go out again sometime, which Sam and I hadn't discussed, so I wasn't prepared to was weird too, because I've never hugged my sister, not when she wasn't forced to anyway. After a while, she calmed down a bit and let go. She took a deep breath and brushed off the hair that was sticking to her face. That's when she told me she was pregnant. I would tell you about the rest of the night, but I honestly don't remember much about it. It was all a very sad days, but I do know that her boyfriend said it wasn't his baby, but my sister knew that it was. And I do know that he broke up with her right there at the dance. My sister hasn't told anybody else about it because she doesn't want it to get around. The only people who know are me, her, and him. I'm not allowed to tell anyone we know. Not anyone, not ever. I told my sister that after a while, she probably couldn't hide it, but she said she wouldn't let it get that far. Since she was 18, she didn't need mom or dad's permission. All she needed was someone to be with her next Saturday at the clinic, and that person was me. It's lucky I got my license now. I said that to make her laugh, but she didn't. Love always, Charlie. February 23, 1992. Dear friend, I was sitting in the waiting room of the clinic. I had been there for an hour or so. I don't remember exactly how long. Bill had given me a new book to read, but I just couldn't concentrate on it. I guess it makes sense, why not? Then I tried to read some magazines, but again, I just couldn't. It wasn't so much that they mentioned what the people were eating. It was all the magazine covers. Each one had a smiling face, and every time it was a woman on the cover, she was showing her cleavage. I wonder if this woman wanted to do that to look pretty, or if it was just part of the job. I wondered if they had a choice or not, if they wanted her to be successful. I just couldn't get that thought out of my head. I could almost see the photo shoot and the actress or model going to eat a light lunch with her boyfriend afterwards. I could see him asking her about her day, and how she wouldn't think too much of it. Or maybe if it was her first magazine cover, how she would be very excited because she was starting to become famous. I could see the magazine on the newsstands, and a lot of anonymous eyes looking at it, and how some people would think it was very important. And then now a girl like Mary Elizabeth would be very angry about the actress or model showing her cleavage, along with all the other actresses or models doing the same thing, while some photographer like Greg would just look at the quality of the photograph. Then I thought there would be some men who would buy the magazine and masturbate to it, and I wondered what the actress or her boyfriend would think about that, if they did at all. And then I thought that it was about time for me to stop thinking of it, because it wasn't doing my sister any good. That's when I started thinking about my sister. I thought about the time our friends painted my fingernails, and how that was okay. I'm gonna put things because people are really loud and they're right outside my window. I'm so sorry. was allowed to look at her because she thought she was fat. Now she really wasn't fat. Now she was actually very pretty. And how different her face looked when she realized boys thought she was pretty. And how different her face looked the first time she liked a boy. She really liked a boy. It was not on a poster on her wall. Now her face looked when she realized she was in love with that boy. And then I wondered how her face would look when she came out from behind those doors. My sister was the one who told me. Wait, what? I'm not sure what that was supposed to mean. My sister was the one who told me where babies come from. My sister was the one, also the one who laughed when I immediately asked her where babies go to. When I thought that, I started to cry. But I couldn't let anyone see me if they did, because they might not let me drive her home, and they might call our parents. And I couldn't let that happen because my sister was counting on me, and this was the first time anyone ever counted on me for anything. When I realized that this was the first time I cried since I made my Aunt Helen the promise not to cry unless it was for something important, I had to go outside because I couldn't hide it from anyone anymore. I must have been in the car for a long time because eventually my sister found me there. I was chain-smoking cigarettes and crying still. My sister knocked on the window. I rolled it down. She looked at me with this curious expression. Then her curiosity turned to anger. "Charlie, are you smoking?" She was so mad. I can't tell you how mad she was. "I can't believe you're smoking." That's when I stopped crying, and I started laughing. Because of all the things she could have said right after she got out of there, she picked my smoking. And she got angry about it. And I knew if my sister was angry, then her face wouldn't be that different, and she would be okay. "I'm going to tell Mom and Dad, you know." "No, you're not." God, I couldn't stop laughing. When my sister thought about it for a second, I think she figured out why she couldn't tell Mom or Dad. It's like she suddenly remembered where we were and what had just happened, and how crazy our whole conversation was considering all that. Then she started laughing. But the laughing made her feel sick, so I had to get out of the car and help her into the back seat. I had already set up the pillow and blanket for her because we figured it was probably best for her to sleep it off a little in the car before we went home. Just before she fell asleep, she said, "Well, if you're going to smoke, crack the window at least," which made me start laughing again. Charlie, smoking. I can't believe it. Which made me laugh harder, and I said, "I love you." And my sister said, "I love you too. Just stop it with the laughing already." Eventually, my laughing turned into the occasional chuckle, and then it just stopped. I looked back and saw my sister was asleep. So I started the car and turned on the heater so she would be warm. That's when I started reading the book Bill gave me. It's Walden by Henry David Thoreau. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Which is my brother's girlfriend's favorite book. So I was very excited to read it. When the sun went down, I put my smoking pamphlet on the page where I stopped reading and started driving home. I stopped a few blocks from her house to wake up my sister and put the blanket and pillow in the trunk. We pulled into the driveway. We got out. We went inside, and we heard our mother and father's voices from the top of the stairs. "Where have you two been all day?" "Yeah, dinner's almost ready." My sister looked at me. I looked at her. She shrugged. So I started talking a mile a minute about how we saw a movie and how my sister taught me how to drive on the highways. Now we went to McDonald's. "McDonald's? When?" "Your mother cooked ribs, you know." My father was reading the paper. So I talked. As I talked, my sister went up to my father and gave him a kiss on the cheek. He didn't look up from his paper. I know, but we didn't go to McDonald's until before the movie, and that was a while ago. I froze. exercise machine. They kept flashing a 1-800 number, so I called it. Sorry, I just read that. So I called it. The woman who picked up the other end of the phone was named Michelle, and I told Michelle that I was a kid and did not need an exercise machine, but I hoped she was having a good night. That's when Michelle hung up on me. I didn't mind a bit. Love always, Charlie. And that, friends, is where we're going to stop. Made some decent progress, I'd say. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and share with your friends and whatnot. It's really fun. And leave a comment saying, dang people. I can put other stuff in there too if you want, but dang people, include it in there so I know that you are still either A, awake, or B, made it to the end of the video. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys and see you guys. I used to say that I wouldn't actually see you, but now I will see you. Well, I won't see you